Hi guys, Harry here, and I'm back with Katawa shoujo, the redone version, I suppose. Beware, just kind of want to get straight back into it, and so one flight of stairs up and I run into problems. Hold on, I'm gonna have a drink. I mean, it's not narrating, I mean, just anyway. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Damn. And that would be Kai being my high school. Damn! Ugh. You beat my high score. Actually, I'm not even sure if you guys can see that. I would say what game, but I tried recording it earlier, and the recording just failed miserably. I mean, I don't know what it is reaction, but it's just messed up so bad. Either way, on with I showed you. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easy as determined as one would think. Even though those two told me where it would be. Liars! Also, can I just say, where's my peaceful music? Like, that's what I always miss about this game. They take away my music and it's like, I miss it. Honestly, I do love the music in this game. It's just very peaceful, very in tune. Anyway, the classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there are a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either though, just barely ajar so I can see it's open and nothing else. I can make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, but while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least it means that someone's inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the centre of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. And guys, again, I still have cookies. I'm not kind of breaking that new thing I'm doing. You know, and snacks for text-based stuff. The feeling of being an outsider of the school can't be shaken from my mind. So much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. I mean, it's just second day, I mean, I give crap for that. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it's much easier to open than anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. I did not need to know all of it, but... Come on, dude! Kai! It's like, good moment here! Jeez! This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking centre stage in the otherwise abandoned room. And there's my music! Missed that. Jeez. The situation stills my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway, staring at this beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seems to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even amongst the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding, I was just kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Like this wavy-haired girl. Good description, so unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. Actually, yeah. You just go into a room, like not a lot of people say, take a seat before, who are you? Just saying. I slowly step towards an seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Hey, tea? I'm considering half British. And I'm British before you say anything. I mean, no, you're fine. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely uncomfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, of which I hasten to match before realising the futility of the action. Yeah. I'm Hisao. Pleased to meet you. Hello, Hisao. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Much it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I've never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water in the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm well aware, Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Matao. Oh, good old Moo Moo. Still haven't forgotten that. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nevertheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it would be hard to choke down. Wait, what cup of tea are you referring to there, man? Thanks, Satao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves a hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. Yeah, she says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class you from? I imagine it's one of the third year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and it's specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. So sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face though, she doesn't seem the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this is a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include hers, it seems. Ready to jump ship from the particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come in to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Think on it, this might be her version of the place behind the school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerism seems to be the almost completely opposite. Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven. Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, those such as art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get off my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it, as Lee does the same. As I look over at the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming in the room has a distinctively orange tint. Over here, or even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay, the library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. Quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going if that's the case. Been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hand still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It's my pleasure. I've come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it, alright? Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. Yeah, I don't think you'll find it, man. But then, it's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, that would be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight retractable cane and slips in the handle of the bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in the class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. It must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and into the empty hallway on the way to the library. I think I just noticed that's a weird painting. Just then, side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walked through the hallway. Okay, why do you keep taking away my music in the hallways? Just don't like it. Doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door of a warm-looking room, apparently situated in the centre of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To her left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school library, with a distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here considering the time. Isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, you here? She says it with thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present. And of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is it draws a reaction. Something from the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to an extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's throwing the back of her head. Good afternoon, what just happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, it just hit my head. So I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped. When I was looking for both of them, you came in and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, sorry for making you worry. It's nothing, I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way an inconvenience by bashing her head on the table, on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. Then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. It's almost like she was drawn for it. Oh, I mean made. What am I saying? Lily, did you get my message? Message, Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I missed their celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye, and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not nursing you before. Did you need to check out a book, or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. Here's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko. Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know why it could be interesting. It's too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt it for a second. That she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, so there are a lot of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops in my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to, not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Yeah, I'll call that fairly relaxed. But I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense given all the blind students here. Still, a third or a fourth, that's quite a bit. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books here than my salary, and have to reorganise and shelve them all. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much, I wish I could just quit this job. Okay. A very awkward silence follows the revelation of too much information. I'll go check the owls if you don't mind. Wait. Okay, very well. Meanwhile, Yuko and I would have these books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow out. I just said this word 2 seconds ago. How am I struggling here? Aisles. I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it sounds good. In a few moments I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there were large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lillian here snuck in with us, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further through, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognise sitting in one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long dense bangs I can see that part of her face, at least a third of it, if not half, is badly scarred. Her eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I'm shocked and avert my eyes to the books in her hand, before I realise that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes 2 seconds to collect myself and remember that I walked up to her for. So I'm sorry I didn't mean to tell you, or I'm new here, so in same class. Again, both of those sound good. Well, I remember Sal didn't mess up that one, so... Or did he? Yeah, let's go for that one. Sorry, I didn't mean to start with you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods just a little. Okay. I take the seat next to her and she hides herself behind me. Like, aww, please. Life of Pi, never heard of it. So, sorry again for starting you. I'm Sal. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We're in the same class. Her speech is stifled and so quiet that it's barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. Wait, was he calling a purple-haired girl for... Sorry, you... Good... You know... Wow, should call her that name. Anyway. I was just urged to say that's a nice name, just to have something to say. But really, it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other. And here I am, being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and introductions of the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction. I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scar it's hiding. After I realise she's doing the same and only pretending to be immersed in Life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When her gaze is finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcibly from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I gotta go do something. Hey, have you been talking to Toy Bonnie? Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lee and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, do you notice a girl run past her? Maybe. What's she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her. I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear, Yuko. Would you excuse me? I'd better try and find her. So, you gotta work on your game, man. You're never gonna find love if you keep working like that, man. Sure, I'll just hold on these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I was just looking for some books and she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of was I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. And again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. What? That sounds stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us had anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, the library should be closing soon. But I have to do it. Hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting. I'm turning the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself for that too. Honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Yeah, you think? I honestly can't remember. Like, I had a big break playing Gawa Shoujo, so I'm not sure. You think? Holding library books with one arm, I trawl my pockets for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying, or the key that I almost managed to get in the lock. Who is it? What was Kenji's voice? I suck at voices, but I suck even more at remembering them. I turn around and see who's talking at me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. Just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. You the some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yeah, but we've met before. Yesterday? I don't think so. I remember someone who I only met yesterday. Who was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. I feel like I'm going more into Batman. You live across the hall. You're Genji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one or two things. Either we have met and you're telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room. Although it's hard to believe he can't see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not a psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop the man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. Do you think you can pass this out because I'm legally blind? You are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? I love Kenji. I want to grab him by the shoulder and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, carefully, one step at a time. I stay still. At least he insulted me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again and once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? Oh no, just there's something stupid after me. A few stupid things actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on her people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. You're asking Kenji for advice? Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know why I'm saying this to Kenji. It's not like we had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living the same reality as the rest of us. You see, this is how it is. The world. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win. Because I don't lose the lesson. What's that mean? Doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally too. She actually ran away from me. What? That's a weird sound. What's my fault really, I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one. Cute, that's the bad question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face. Guess you agree with, like, yeah, it was cute. Still not changing my answer on that one. Yeah, cute, I guess. I know it. There are a lot of cute girls here. A strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of the school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I honestly think that's gonna go to Batman like any second now. Yeah. I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark. Like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in the school is slightly more significantly higher than the number slightly more significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. No, we're in Japan, not China, I was going to say. If this was China, that would be a weird number. He turns his head to the left and stares off in the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad. But that is a full of 20%. One would think that school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream. But no. What I'm about to tell you are gonna blow your mind. You ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men and women is a clear sign of how far they've come. In case this Cold War turns up, they will have superiority in numbers. These sickle. Just in a skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists, though everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by hair. The building up their numbers in the past, the build-up of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target, also cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That's why you can't trust them. They'll string you along and then kill you. Just they killed me. You will end up just like, oh my god, I see dead people. Oh hell no! I can't stop myself from blurring it out. Hey, what the hell does that mean? You said it, not me. Oh, that was just so difficult to stay serious. Can I just say it's been like, what, a couple minutes? And there's been no advance in the story. Just because Kenji's shown up. Best thing ever. It's the best thing I can think of. Oh, whoops. So, you're not supposed to say something like that? Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy. Stop it, stop. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow? It's cool. I have some grass and stuff in my room. And the puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Okay, grass is still cool though, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange, and pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking about what it's like to be the last man in the same world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. This is my dream. You can't steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. It would invalidate the whole last part. And that part is kind of important. There can only be one. Like in a foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there's only one dude left, because that was the point. I've never seen anyone talk so heatedly and defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my grass. I also have a list of the other dark and complex conspiracy that the school holds, as tangled as quick fist my Nancy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy. Shut up. Whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room. So quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. Here's a ghost! I do see dead people. I call it. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kick off my shoes before falling face first in the bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on some homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. What cheeks you on about there, bud? The school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as expected, though. This place really is more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery's beautiful. I open one eye to see the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Alright, and with that being the day up, I'm gonna call this an episode. Yeah. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed, and hopefully see you for now on. Bye.